Hey everybody, this is Roy Canning, and this is Favorite Game Friday. We're having a group of contributors with completely different games talk about their favorite game in the category of the week. This week, we're talking all about favorite designers. So not just a specific game, but a designer who's designed a bunch of different games. Do you have a designer that you really enjoy a ton of their games for? Make sure to leave in the comments down below, especially if it's somebody who you think is underrated and needs to be shouted out. Anyway, let's get to all of the contributors' clips.
Hi folks, Doug here at Sidetracks Board Game Club in Elwood City. One of my favorite designers is Elizabeth Hargrave. Obviously everybody knows Wingspan, fantastic game. I love how it brings the nature theme to things. One of the first games that I've played that really hit home on the nature theme, which is why my wife and I really loved it. But the game that was really impressive to me was Mariposas. This is a game about butterfly migration from Mexico, and I was just amazed at how the mechanics of the game could be integrated into the theme. It makes sense, and it's a fun game. I haven't played Tussie Mussy, but I'd really look forward to playing that, and I'm really looking forward to the Fox Experiment, which I backed on Kickstarter, so I can't wait to play that. Happy Friday!
If you ask me who my favorite designer is, I don't think I necessarily have one. The closest I probably have is Richard Lannis and Kevin Wilson. When they did Arkham Horror 2nd Edition, this is a perennial favorite among my friends. We still play it to this day. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And Richard Lannis also did the Batman, the animated series Gotham Under Siege. This is one of my favorite cooperative superhero games. But Richard Lannis hasn't done a lot in the last few years, but Kevin Wilson, the other co-designer in Arkham Horror, has done a lot. And I really like his stuff. He did Stuff of Legend, which was real interesting. I don't even like trader games, but I enjoyed that one. His Batman, the animated series dice game is pretty good. It's more tactical, but I enjoyed this. But I think his most interesting work lately has been the Kinfire Chronicles, and I've really enjoyed that. So I'm going to have to say Kevin Wilson, I think, is my current favorite designer if you made me choose.
Hi, my name's Phil Gardner and welcome to Fun with Boxes. What's my favourite game designer, you may well ask? Well, it is, of course, Eric M. Lang, famous for Blood Rage and many other wonderful games. Plus, an honorary mention to Phil Walker Hardin, who is also quite fantastic. Thanks for watching and please take care.
Hey Dice Tower, I'm Dee Dee from the Rulebook RX, and my favorite designer is Elizabeth Hargraves. Now, neckbeards and gatekeepers, hold off, I'm not just talking about Wingspan, which is a great game, and probably my most blinged out game, and I'm going to be talking about that on my channel. I love Elizabeth Hargraves because of the reaction that I had to reading the rules for Mariposas. With all of the scientific going north and then coming south in your migration with these butterflies, I looked at that and I thought, man, this is such a beautiful marriage of board game mechanics and scientific themes. I fell in love with her. I can't wait for the Fox Experiment to come out. I've got that Kickstarter and it's on its way very shortly. Greatly anticipating that. Elizabeth Hargraves, keep making great games. Thanks for being my favorite designer. Back to you.
Happy Friday, everyone. This is Jill. My favorite game designer would have to be Tom Lehman. I just love Res Arcana so much. I'm so excited to try anything that Mr. Lehman releases. That being said, just because I like playing Res Arcana so much, unfortunately Dice Realms is still on my shelf of shame. I also really like how Mr. Lehman seems to be relatively active on the Board Game Geek forum for rule questions on Res Arcana. I think that's a really nice touch.
Hi, I'm Josh from the YouTube channel Josh Yaks, and if I had to choose a favorite game designer, I think I would go with Bruno Catala. He's designed a wide variety of games, most of which I have really enjoyed, but for me his sweet spot are these two-player, asymmetrical, easy-to-learn yet highly tactical games that I enjoy so much, and which is best represented for me by Mr. Jack in New York, which is one of my very favorite games of all time. Cheers!
Hi, I'm Libby, this is Julian, and together we are Box Meeples. You can of course find us on YouTube, but also follow us on social media too. My pick for this week is Ryan Lockett. I love all of the Red Raven games that I've played so far, and there's still a few on my wish list too, but from anything from Islebound to Sleeping Gods, we had a great adventure in that world. I love the world that he creates, the characters and the story in the games, and we're currently having a great time playing Near and Far too.
I love the games by Jamie Stegmaier. Not just a fantastic designer, but from all accounts, a really great guy. Civ is one of my favourite games. Viticulture is my favourite worker placement game. I absolutely love his smaller games too, the Red Rising, and of course the Rolling Realms and Tapestry. I'm a big fan of too.
For me, I've said this guy is one of my favorite designers for years, and I'm still just gonna have to go back to it just because the back catalog of so many games is amazing, and that is Corey Konezka. He did a lot of work on Twilight Imperium, he did Battlestar Galactica, he did Mansions of Madness. There's so many amazing games that I know he did through Fantasy Flight, and he's always doing crazy stuff with his new company, and I just love seeing stuff come out from him. So Corey Konezka is my favorite designer.
Hey everybody, my pick for favorite designer is Tatsuka Cho. You may not know that name, but I bet you know at least one of his games. I own all of his published games currently, and there's more on the way. Like Animal Mark K, I believe it's pronounced. The Arctic. It's 5 p.m. Perfumery. The Deadland. And then there is Aqua Garden. And the big one, Ostia.
My pick for this week is going to be Ryan Lockett, also known for he has a lot of famous games including Sleeping Gods, Above and Below, and Near and Far. The real reason for this is mostly because of like the huge world that he's created and how it's created in like the specific world it is.
Yeah, totally. I have a question though. What about Artifacts Inc.? What do you think of that one?
What?
You haven't played this one in a long time, but remember you said it gave you a headache.
I think you're right.
All right. Also, I have a few Ben Casey MD stickers left, so if you find me on social media, send me a message and I can get one out to you. Happy Friday, everybody.
Bye.
Favorite designer? I think I'm going to have to go with Reiner Knizia. Who knew that there were this many great games by him in my collection? I mean, you've got something of everything here. Something for everybody, something for every player count, and beautiful. I mean, looking at these, how would you even decide which one to pick? So, while I wouldn't say I'm an uber fan of Reiner Knizia, I do like his games quite a bit.
Okay, everybody, my favorite designer, probably there are a lot of designers I do follow, but one that I probably gravitate to, anything he comes out with, I at least give a play, and that is John DeClaire. John DeClaire, I like everything from Space Base to Ready Set Bet to, of course, my #1 game of all time is Dead Reckoning. And Last Kingdom surprised me because I wasn't crazy about the IP, but I love the game, and then it's John DeClaire, so of course I do. But that is my favorite designer, John DeClaire.
Assalamu alaikum. My favorite board game designer is Rob Davio. Now, Rob Davio does a lot of restoration of old games, but it's his legacy games that I love as well. So whether it's Pandemic Legacy, he was the co-developer on Cthulhu Death May Die. Just because of these two games, I can put him as my favorite designer. Even though I own more Phil Walker Harding games than Rob Davio, but whenever I hear that Rob Davio is designing some game, I pay attention that what game is he designing, what game is he involved in, and that's why he's my favorite designer, Rob Davio. Happy gaming.
Hey folks, I'm Cody from Tabletop Shop, and as you might guess from looking at all these beauties, my favorite designer is Jamie Stegmaier. I think he puts out some incredible games, and here's the thing, he has a very high success rate of the games that he puts out. He doesn't put out that many compared to some other huge designers, but it's like so many of them are great. And with all of these, they have these, for the most part, quick, snappy turns that have a lot of consequence to those small decisions that you're making. And that's, to me, a mark that makes a really good game, is if you're making a little choice, but it has these long effects down the road. So, Jamie Stegmaier makes good games. Give him a try.
It's always interesting to think about and look at all the designers who've created so many great games. A lot of times I think the designers go unrecognized, and I love it when a lot of designers get shout outs for the amazing work they've done in board gaming and bringing these cool games to everyone's table so that we can play them. Make sure to leave in the comments down below your favorite game designer, and make sure to check out all our contributors from all around the world who join us here on Favorite Game Friday. It's always awesome to see everybody join in, and if you want to be a part of Favorite Game Friday, it's really simple. All you have to do is check out the Google Drive link down below. You shoot us a super short video for the topic and just throw the video in there. So next week's topic is going to be a game that you that you feel like you could play competitively, or a game that just brings out competition in you. Is there a game that you really, really try hard to win every time you play it? I'm not normally as competitive in games, but it's cool to see which games you think you could win or that you really need to win. Make sure to leave that in the Google Drive link down below, and we'll see you on the next Favorite Game Friday. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. See you next time.